So today I'm going to share with you 5 things that I love about African cichlids. Hey fish friends, how's it going? Hope everyone's doing well. My name is Zenzo and you're watching Tazawa Tanks. If you like watching videos about aquariums, fish rooms, African cichlids, go ahead and hit that sub button and the notification bell. That way you'll be notified when I upload a new video. So we're going to jump right into it and talk about my 5 favorite things, or the 5 things that I love about African cichlids, and we'll jump into number 1. The first one is personality. Now, when you're talking about fish, a lot of times people question when you say that my fish has personality. For those of you that have cichlids, whether they be African cichlids or Central or South American cichlids, you know that your fish can have personalities. One thing that I do love about African cichlids is they do show a lot of personality, especially the mbuna, the peacocks, the haps, etc. And that's really fun to watch them engage with one another. Sometimes it can be aggressive, but it is fun to see their behavior, to see how they interact with one another. I really enjoy that. So number 2 on my list, which is probably high on a lot of people's lists when they think about what they love about African cichlids, and that is the colors. Now here is my Lake Malawi tank, and I have blues and reds and oranges and yellows, silvers, all kinds of colors in here, and I really enjoy that. I think it's really beautiful to look at. You know, oftentimes you can have tanks with so many different types of fish in there with different colors that it really does add a lot of variety, which I enjoy. Now, I also enjoy having tanks that don't have a lot of color, like for example my Tanganyikan tank, which is mostly like browns and grays kind of thing. But I really do enjoy the colors that the Lake Malawi fish display. The third thing on my list, and this is probably something that not a lot of people think about, and that is the hardiness of the fish. Now, these fish can be pretty easy to take care of if you can get past the aggression, the filtration, things like that, which I've talked about in other videos. But if you can get past all of that stuff, these fish are pretty tough. They can handle a lot. They can handle, different water parameters and different water conditions. And they're not as delicate as some of the other fish that we keep in the hobby. And I really like that. Number 4 on my list is maybe similar to the colors, and that is that they are very impressive, specifically for non-fish keeping people. So I have a lot of fish tanks in our house and obviously a whole bunch downstairs in the fish room. But when we have company come over, friends, family, etc., and they look at these tanks, they're always amazed, they're always wowed by the colors, by the activity, and a lot of times people that aren't into fish will think that these are saltwater fish. Well, clearly they're not saltwater fish, even though we do use cichlid salts and things like that. They're a freshwater fish. They don't know that. So your average person that doesn't know a whole lot about fish would think that goldfish and tetras and things like that are freshwater fish, and large, beautiful, colorful fish like these are typically found in the oceans. When I tell them that no, these are lake fish, these are freshwater fish, they are blown away. So I really like that part. The last thing that I enjoy about African cichlids, specifically the Lake Malawi cichlids, is their breeding behavior. Number 1, they are pretty easy to breed. If you have a male or a few males and multiple females, you will end up with fry. Now, for some people, you don't want that, so you're trying to eliminate those situations, whether you're trying to eliminate females because you want to reduce aggression, or you just don't want to deal with all of the fry and having to have extra tanks for them. But if you do like that, if you do enjoy growing fish, raising fish, and seeing the circle of life, so to speak, African cichlids are great. Because they are mouth brooders, it is super cool. So what the African cichlids will do is the female will go to a spot that the male has kind of sectioned off, and she will drop her eggs. The male will come by and fertilize those eggs, and then the female will pick those eggs up, the fertilized eggs up in her mouth, and she will hold those in her mouth for several weeks, usually about 28 days or so, but it varies. She'll hold them in her mouth until they hatch, and then she'll continue to keep them in her mouth until she can't contain them anymore, and then they swim off freely. Now, if that happens in a tank like this, obviously if you have a bunch of baby fish in here, they are going to get eaten unless they kind of make it back into the filter or something. But you can take the female that's holding, and that's what we call a female holding eggs in her mouth. You can take that female out, put her in a separate tank, or you can have her, you can strip her mouth of the eggs and or the fish fry and keep those in an egg tumbler or in a separate tank if they're already hatched, and you can grow them out that way. But either way, it's really cool. It's really exciting to see a female holding. Sometimes you'll get a glimpse of a female with a mouthful of fish fry, and her mouth is kind of slightly open, and you can look inside and see the fish swimming around inside of her mouth, and that's pretty fantastic. So that was it. That was my list of 5. You'll have to stay tuned for an upcoming video that talks about the 5 things that I hate about African cichlids. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you checking in with my channel. We'll catch you on the next one.